It is often recommended for diabetics to fill their plate with a balanced diet, and that includes plenty of vegetables. Vegetables are rich in nutrients, fiber, and minerals, and they significantly help reduce blood sugar spikes. However, just like any food, not all vegetables are as beneficial for diabetics. Certain vegetables can deliver more carbohydrates than fiber, and when paired with the wrong food, they can also have a negative impact on your blood sugar levels. But what are the vegetables you need to be extremely mindful of as a diabetic? Don't go anywhere and keep watching. In this video, you'll uncover the 4 worst vegetables for diabetics and how they influence your blood sugar. But before we get started, can you do us a favor and like this video? Ring the bell for future notifications, and make sure to subscribe to the Diabetics Talk channel for more help in managing diabetes. And now, let's take a look at the 4 worst vegetables for diabetics, starting with Number 4. Green peas. Green peas can be incredibly nutritious, as they contain several vitamins, antioxidants, and protein. However, green peas are also high in carbohydrates. In fact, 1 cup of green peas has up to 20 grams of carbs, which is important, especially considering how small green peas are. Green peas' carbohydrates are primarily made of starch, which is typically easier to digest. However, green peas have been reported to influence bloating and indigestion. And as a result, it can trigger blood glucose imbalances. This is because green peas contain lectin, a type of reactive protein that binds to carbohydrates. It has been found that diabetics experiencing regular indigestion may experience more difficulties to maintain their blood glucose balance. So while more studies are needed to confirm the impact of green peas on diabetics, it is best to limit your consumption to a very small amount and monitor how your digestion and blood glucose respond to green peas. Number 3. Potatoes. While potatoes are one of the most loved vegetables out there, it is not always the best for diabetics. Yes, potatoes contain a healthy amount of potassium, folate, and other vitamins. But because it is a nightshade vegetable, it also contains a good amount of carbohydrates and toxic phytonutrients, known as glycoalkaloids. And while potatoes tend to have minimal amounts of this toxin, the way your potatoes are cooked can make a massive difference in how your diabetes responds to them. A review of studies involving 3,988,007 participants observed that consuming 3 servings of potatoes weekly, including baked potatoes, boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes, and French fries, significantly increased the risks of type 2 diabetes and complications, with French fries being the least healthy version. Alternatively, the review also pointed out that swapping these 3 servings with whole grains could lower these risks. In short, it is best to avoid consuming potatoes regularly. This includes white and sweet potatoes. Additionally, there are 2 other vegetables you might want to be mindful of. And now, let's take a look at our next worst vegetable for diabetics with number 2. Butternut squash. Butternut squash is loved as a winter vegetable for its sweet and nutty flavor. However, if you're living with diabetes, you might want to limit your consumption of this orange veggie all year round. Butternut squash is rich in potassium, vitamins, and antioxidant carotenoid. But just like other vegetables we have seen so far, butternut squash also comes with a high amount of carbohydrates. In fact, its proportion of fiber is too low compared to the amount of sugar and carbs provided by this veggie. 1 cup of butternut squash contains up to 7 grams of fiber and 22 grams of carbohydrates. As a result, it isn't the best vegetable for those who have fluctuating blood sugar issues. The high amount of carbohydrates can increase the difficulty to keep blood sugar balanced. Various studies have observed that a diet rich in carbohydrates, whether that's from grains or vegetables, can increase blood glucose levels and risks of type 2 diabetes complications. And while studies specific to butternut squash for diabetics are scarce, it is best to be extremely mindful of your consumption and regularly monitor how your blood glucose responds to this vegetable. Another one where you might want to take a similar approach is number 1. Corn. If there is one vegetable you will want to avoid entirely as a diabetic, it is definitely corn, in all its forms. Corn is primarily made of carbohydrates. Some forms of corn, including corn syrup and popcorn, will also have a high amount of saturated fat and sugar, making it a fairly unhealthy vegetable option for diabetics. It is well known that food rich in saturated fat, carbohydrates, and sugar can significantly increase blood glucose levels, insulin resistance, and the risks of diabetes complications. And corn is no different. A study observed that people who consumed products with corn syrup had a significant risk of developing type 2 diabetes and diabetes complications. And yes, whole forms of corn might be a healthier option for diabetics, but they also contain a high amount of carbohydrates. As a result, it is best to favor vegetables that have low glycemic index and stay away from corn. And there you have it. Overall, these vegetables should be eaten occasionally and in small amounts, as their carbohydrate content can trigger blood sugar imbalance. Some might even cause gas and bloating if your digestive system is sensitive. And now, we want to hear from you. Which vegetable do you eat a little too much of? And how does it affect your blood glucose? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button for more diabetics talk. Thanks for watching. We hope you're having a diabetes fighting day.